So, how to stop overthinking? But first, let's try and understand what actually is overthinking. Overthinking is thinking that theoretically, if we learn more about something or think more about it, we will have some sort of advantage or more legitimate decision. It's often referred to as analysis paralysis. There is the opposite side to it, which is called extinct by instinct, which basically means you think too much about something and you're not thinking enough, so you make irrational decisions and you act too quickly. But for most of us, it will be that we overthink. And this can actually stop you from making big decisions in your life. So a few examples are it could stop you from approaching a girl who could potentially be your future wife. Another example is making big decisions within work or business, which can have huge returns, but they tend to be quite risky. There have been times where I personally have had to put in large amounts of money to get large amounts back, but I could potentially lose that money. So it's a risk, but you don't want to overthink it too much. That's the point. I think it's important to really understand what it is to truly overcome it. So there are two types of overthinking. One is past overthinking and one is future overthinking. Past overthinking is thinking about something that has already happened, but, well, for example, you go into an argument and you're like, oh, why didn't I say this? I could have said this. Or maybe you treat someone unfairly and you're like, why did I act like this? I could have done this. And the solution to that is developing a stoic mind or understanding that we cannot control it, obviously because it's already happened. And then there's future overthinking, which is thinking about all the possible outcomes of something that's going to happen in the future, good or bad. And that derives from two emotions, which are fear and anxiety. So fear is a response to a threat in the moment. So for example, if a bear was to attack my car right now, I would feel fear. But you tend to not overthinking in those situations because it's a fight or flight mode, like where you're either going to fight or you're going to run away. Now, anxiety is a response to a perceived threat in the future. Examples of that could be you're thinking about joining the gym, but you're like, oh, what is everyone going to think about me? Or what if I do something wrong and then everyone's going to, find it funny? Or maybe you're scared to post your first video on YouTube or whatever it is because you're worried about what people are going to think of you, what they're going to say. Now, I'm not a therapist, but these are solutions that I've found effective or other people that I know have found effective. So there are two physical practices, and the first one is mindfulness or meditation. This really doesn't take much of your time. You can do 5 to 10 minutes a day, and that is more than enough. But the important part is to be intentional with it. It's not just about sitting there and doing nothing. So one really good app for guided meditations is Medito. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. It's just something that I've used before, and it's really helpful. And the other physical practice is journaling. So essentially what that is writing on the page either what you're thinking or what you're thankful for. There's loads of things that you can do. A similar sort of feeling to when you tell someone about it. It also provides you clarity with your thoughts, and it's kind of like another booster to having a stoic mind. You can also gratitude journal, which is basically writing what you're thankful for. So, whatever it is, your friends, your family, anything good that's happened to you. And what that helps with is you stop stressing about the little bad things as much, which are things that you tend to overthink about, like what are people going to think of you when you join the gym. Now, a big one to do with overthinking is a lot of people have the all or nothing mindset, which is basically where you think like you have to do everything or it's not worth it. So like if you were to record a video and it wasn't perfect, like say you stutter a lot or the lighting's not very good or just the general production value is not very good, you don't post it because you're like, oh, it's not perfect, so what's the point? The point is consistent action will take you way further, where you post the bad videos or the videos that aren't that great, and you will also have videos that are pretty good, but it's better to have 10% every day than 100% on the odd day. Overthinking in this situation can be fine as long as you are still doing it consistently, as long as you're still putting the videos out or whatever it is. Then yeah, overthinking is fine. The last one I have to mention is looking at the bigger picture. So will it matter in a week? Will it matter tomorrow? Will it matter in a month? So let's say, for example, something happened like, I don't know, you tripped and fell over in public and everyone was looking at you. Will it matter tomorrow? Will people remember it in a week? 99% of the time, the answer is no. The more you practice and train your mind to think, oh, these people won't remember this next week, the more you will care less about all these little bad things. Now, please don't just watch this video and then forget about it and not take in anything that I've just said. Because if you can just try a couple of these things, you may find that your overthinking habits decrease a lot. Because I've done or do basically all of these things, and I used to be the biggest overthinker, but nowadays, I don't really overthink a lot, and that allows me to accomplish way bigger things. But yeah, I really hope that you take something from this video. And if you do like this video, I should be posting more of this sort of thing. But yeah, see you in a bit.